Yo, what's good, y'all? No Mercy. Yo, shit, NoMercyTV.com. You know what time it is, man. I'm here with my guy, Ed, who, was in the building for the Civil War event. Ed, talk to him, man.
Yo, amazing event, man. 9 out of 10. Best URL event I've been to, and maybe Born Legacy 2, Av and Nitty, Mike P and Tink. Crowd was amazing. The venue was amazing. Shouts out to the Hive. Especially me having a handicap. Everybody was so accommodating. They accommodated me every step of the way, from getting me through the crowd to always making sure I had somewhere to sit down. They let me, if you see somebody with a yellow shirt and you feel fatigued, we always accommodate the handicap. They took care of me. I mean, some of y'all might not know, I do have a bum leg from a misfortunate accident. But I mean, again, even that, like ran into Beasley Friday night at the face-offs, and I was like, Bees, I'm going to be good with this cane. He was like, oh yeah. In Beasley voice, he's like, oh, URL always accommodates the handicap. I was like, yeah, damn right. I appreciate it. And again, they know who I am from the URL tattoo guy, and just being around for the past 10 years or so with Tink and, Briz. And again, I don't expect anything extra. Handicap does not mean helpless. I got through the crowd. I was meeting fans and shaking battlers' hands. I mean, again, the venue was the acoustics in it. There was no mic issue. Like, I mean, again, anything that you can think of that might have went wrong.
Dre, what up?
Did not. It was amazing, bro. It was
Eddie, what up?
Great time, man. All around the board. No, you're cool. I said it was just. It was close to 10.
I want people to. I don't know if maybe it's a delay or whatever, but fuck it. But yeah, I wanted people to know that one of the reasons I brought you on was because I know you're a real avid fan of this shit, and you're not just somebody who just like popped up out of nowhere. Like, you actually know your shit. You know bars. You done been to small league events, big league events. You done been to trap events. I'm sure you've been to Gate to the Garden events, all that. So you know your way around this culture. So you're not just somebody who's just coming up here to just like, no, you actually know about this culture. And that's one of the
I was the one that DJ'd that cruise.
Recap, I'm like, yeah, let's get it.
I was the one that DJ'd the combine for Norbs, and when he came to Delaware for that, for that little thing, where they were trying to get away, I guess, away from the PGs and to convert. I was the one that DJ'd that event too. So I mean, again, I've done my fair share. I love the culture, bro. I even went to the Pyrex thing, Ton and Swamps League the day after me and Tink showed up there, and still supported there too. You know what I mean? Like, I always I'm mad I didn't buy no merch. They had a merch table with Smack shirts and URL and strapped in big or not. I didn't buy any merch. I wish I didn't have cash. All I had was credit card, and the guy took cash only, so I didn't have any. But next time I definitely got my fair share of battle rap merch too, Mercy.
Yeah, I already know. But let's talk about it. Civil War weekend, which really started Friday. So tell me what it was from, when you touched down on Friday and got to, I guess, the face-off / back. Like, how was Friday?
All right. Shouts out to Tink, first and foremost, for getting us down there safe. It is a 6.5-hour ride to Raleigh from Delaware, where we're from. We left about 10 a.m. Friday morning, 10:30-ish, maybe by the time we hit 95, got on the highway. Tink is the only person I know that can make a hair appointment 6 hours away, 4 states away, and still make it on time, dog. His hair appointment was literally at 4:30. We pulled up in Raleigh at VIP Barbershop at 4:20, dog, literally. Like, so it was a busy day. Tink got his hair done, blah, 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 running around. Beasley, we're hitting Beasley and P. We get the invite for the face-offs and the battles. There's supposed to be 3 battles going down. We get the word that Glue Easy and Honor has been postponed, and so there's only going to be 2 battles. They're only charging fans $10 to get in. Everybody was welcome to come. It was a different event though. I mean, different venue. This was not at the Hive. This was at a different venue somewhere. I mean, it's still in Carolina, but damn, what's the name of the place? Hold up, I got it right here in my card.
I thought
the
Hive, but like in the downstairs area or something like that.
Nah, it was some Spanish, John. El Casanova bar.
Okay.
I don't know. This is where it was right here, but I guess I'm a member now for life, or whatever this thing. Expiration date 2022.
You get free tacos every time you pull up.
Yo, the food truck that was out front was amazing, dog. The food truck outside was fucking amazing. But anyway, so the face-offs went off pretty good. I guess there was some audio issues with I've seen people complaining under the YouTube comments that they couldn't hear well, or the lighting was. They kind of had it set up like a interrogation room where they just had the table and the two lights, like spotlights, like down on the people. I mean, which I liked. I thought the look looked. I mean, in the building it was nice, so we didn't have any issues, of course.
Yeah,
but the face-offs went pretty well without a hitch. It was normal little static, but nothing crazy shaking down. The first battle was First Lady Flames versus. It was supposed to be Coffee and Caution. They came out literally got right on stage, was ready to get busy, and then they fell back. And I guess EK and Flames came up. Great battle, man. Flames' first was amazing. Unfortunately, she had a slight issue that some other battlers have had. She did throw up about 3/4 of the way through her round. It was mostly just water coming out, and she had said she took a big hit off the water before the thing, and you get all that air when you're breathing. And I mean, it's happened to Tink, Chess, Rock. DNA. I mean, you can go through the name. It's not abnormal. It's not abnormal at this point. I mean, we've seen it countless amounts of times. Now, I don't agree with Henny Man he was saying that a throw up is not a choke. I gotta say, it's not a clean round. It's definitely not a clean round. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's not a choke or a stumble, because we were saying it like this. Like if a throw up was not a choke, then people would just be throwing up. Instead of choking, you would just go like, "No, I didn't choke. I just threw up." You know what I mean? Like people would be using that to their advantage somehow, some way. Yay, nay, no way.
Here's the thing. My thoughts on this. A choke more so has to do with forgetting your material. You feel me? Throwing up is more so it's a bodily reaction. So I can't put that in the same class as a choke, because you can be fully prepared and possibly throw up.
She did get it back. She did get it back, and she was actually after she had her little issue and drank a little bit of water. They cooled her down her neck. She got back up and she went crazy, dog. She went crazy. I mean, she was. No, man. I was hearing some that people it was mad hot in there. Yeah, it was. There was the first that night at Friday. It was a little hot in that venue. They didn't have AC. It was basically like a restaurant that had already closed for the day, or okay. I don't know. It was a nice little venue though. I mean, it was plenty of room for us. Again, I know I have the handicap. They were accommodating for me. I had a chair to sit down in. I mean, again, it was. I had no complaints about that, but it was a little hot. I will say, you know what I mean? Like, you know how Tink sweats. I mean, like we were a little hot. I got all this hair. First Lady Flames gets it back. Okay. She's actually really, really good. But EK, his first round was just, again, no stumbles, no slip ups. He had quality content. I still gave him the first round.
JT, what up?
But Flames' second round was crazy. She came back. If anybody can bounce back from the incident she had from after she acted to finishing the first to coming back on the second round, bro, she went nuts. And EK wasn't shabby. I mean, I had it 1-1 going into the third. Now, EK had a First Lady Kennedy JFK bar. I can't exactly remember. I must have asked him 5 times too. I should have it. Where it's like
back with the notes.
First Lady in the back of the seat, Kennedy, or get Kennedy going for the headshot or something along them lines. But it was so creative, like you wouldn't think like somebody hasn't said this before, and it was fire, dog. Like he rocked the room with that shit. I gave it to Flames. I mean, I gave it to EK 2-1. But again, depending on how you judge that first round, because I know, like after Tink threw up versus Saga, he took back off. Smacking him gave him an opportunity to either take it from the top or just take it from where he you know, from where
my guy J Rome, what up?
Rome, Hunger Games, what's up, bro? Rome was in the building with me. He was very helpful. Grabbed me a water bottle. I mean, again, everybody was so, I can't thank URL and the fans and the staff enough. I mean, I'm telling you guys, like, for real. J Rome was there with us at the venue for the face-offs. It depended on how you judge that first round with Flames. It could go, I could see maybe some people give it to her 2-1. It's how you judge that first round, man. I guess we'll see on the footage, you know, how they edit it. I don't know how they're, and EK had a yak rebuttal right after that, because I was like, oh, well, guess they can't edit the footage now, because he said something about spitting up, or again, maybe I should have had the note. JT, I should have had the notes out at the event, writing the bars down. But yeah, I gave it to EK 2-1. But again, it's one of them battles where it's how you judge that first round based on that incident, and that's all I'll say with that one. Second battle was coffee versus caution. Man, crazy, intense. Good back and forth from the ladies. They always bring that pressure. Coffee was looking amazing. She had one of them like sequin, like fishnet, you know, the things the ladies be putting over top of their like bathing suits and shit, like kind of see-through, but like not, like kind of like netty. And then she had the G-string with the bra top on. Yeah, she was looking fly. I mean, you know what I mean? Like she had the boots on going. Lady Caution had her little look with her. She had the dress on, like a dress feather, like looked like kind of like Harley Quinn. You know what I mean? She had the ruffled feathered dress on. They was looking fresh, dog. Like the bars were there, man. I mean, Coffee did have a stumble in the first. Again, everybody judges. Like I'm from the era where you choke, it's over. Now I know it's not that anymore. It's not that. It's different. They give them a chance to get it back, and I forget that, but. I think people have like, it's right on the borderline of stumble and choke. You know what I mean? She did get it back and continued to boom. I think she just tripped up over a couple words, and then you got to kind of bring it back like a line or two to get the flow back. So you know what I mean? Like sometimes you can't
also a stumble. I put that as a stumble.
Yeah, you can't really start from the point where you stumbled right at. If it's one of them bars that you got to kind of flow through, you got to bring it back just a little bit to kind of. I mean, that's the way I kind of see it, but she did get it back. Caution did have a clean first. It's going to be one of them ones where content versus, you know, you give it to Caution because she had the clean round, no stumble. Do you give it to Coffee because she did have the slight stumble, but maybe the material might have been a little bit more. She had more room, a little bit more room rate rockers than Caution did in the first. Second round, Caution came out. Snapping. Coffee was still going on her, you know. I mean, both of the ladies are ferocious, man. They ladies bring the different kind of energy, I believe, when they're on a male card versus when they're on the KOTD card. You know what I mean? I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but like I think man, for real, like the energy level was already kind of up from EK and Flames, man. The Caution and fucking Coffee took it here, and then the drama that happened at the end kind of took it through the roof. But we're gonna get into that too.
Okay.
So I had it kind of like maybe 1-1 going into the third again, and I know this is kind of a cliche thing to say in battle rap, but like I'm just keeping it as real as I can with you.
Nah, do your thing, man. Like it is what it is. You feel me? You called it fairly, so.
Third round, I had Coffee. Again, another one of them rounds where it was kind of like. Boom, 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 boom. It was going back and forth. Caution was going through her thing. I guess Rock and Coffee's boyfriend started kind of getting chirpy a little bit.
That guy again?
Yeah, he actually wasn't that bad. I know he's kind of got that bad, I guess, a bad rep. But like after the smoke cleared and everything, and I got my handicapped ass out of the way, I saw him. I saw them over at the car. It was like G-Lo, Coffee Man, Coffee, and I'm walking like by where we parked, and I just said, you know, good shit, Coffee, and her man was standing there, and they were cool. I had a couple had the edibles on deck, so we were eating the candies and shit. It didn't seem like he was for what just went down. I mean, Rock, Rock was getting a little bad. he can get a little crazy once he starts spewing off at the mouth. He's like, I'm the face of this. Blah 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 blah. Like he was going, kind of going.
So why is he doing all that and he's not the one battling?
I don't know. I like that battle with Wise he did on, what was that, Gates of the Garden or one of the small.
No, but I'm talking about it in the coffee.
I mean, I think it's just, I think that, I don't know, like something about when Caution is rapping, because you remember he interrupted the bull for saying his name in the battle against Caution or whatever. You interviewed him.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I think it's like that. I think he has a hard time. And again, this is just me talking. This is my personal opinion. Maybe when they're coming at her or saying his name or having rock flips or maybe he takes it a little bit more personally because that's his girlfriend. And again, he's a man wants to defend his girl's honor. It's not abnormal for him to maybe act like that, but it's at the end of the day, it's entertainment. He got to understand that when you're battling somebody's girlfriend and Rock is a top 5, top 3 name and you are, top 5, top 3 name in URL. So of course these up and comers and these other battlers are going to take shots at him during a battle with his girl. That's just normal. I mean, I would think that's normal, right?
Yeah.
So I think he kind of took that.
Anybody can get it.
And I don't know exactly what was said because I was a little further back. So I don't want to get into what words were exchanged and everything, but it definitely got a little intense. And then out front of the building,
all the SMD and all that. Come on, man.
It got a little crazy. You know what I mean? So again, I try to, I went out the door. Security guys saw me. They held the door open for me. I just kind of like veered my little hobbly leg off to the side. Like I don't need to. I've been shot. I've been shot before. I don't need to. I felt that pain. I don't need to catch another one.
Oh,
but
man.
But that was about pretty much the end of the event. No problems after that. My mom was asking me, how was the event, or how would you explain battle rap? And I told her, I said, look, it's like watching a fight almost break out that never happens. You know what I mean? Like it's intense. You're watching. You're like, it's like a lot of testosterone, a lot of like. And of course, this is during a female. This is a ladies' battle too, by the way. You know what I mean? Like it got more chippy and choppy than it did. That was the most static of the whole weekend. Just that little one. But
that's one thing I get a credit to for the ladies, because at least the ladies are gonna scrap. Like they don't care. They'll get it shaken in a heartbeat.
Well, Coffee and Rock talked out front, and I'm glad that them two got to, settle whatever was said or whatever was. Mentioned between the two. It definitely fizzled out fast, so thank God for that. It wasn't one of them continuing things where the next day they were at the event and it was still staticky. No, it definitely, whatever they handled it perfectly. So I do give it Rock and Coffee kudos for that. So it didn't really like ruin the event. It didn't ruin the vibe of it's just right at the very end it got a little shaky. Like, but that was it. That was pretty much it for Fridays.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah, two 2-1s. I get EK 2-1 and Coffee 2-1. But again, both battles, I wouldn't be mad. Maybe the call. I don't know. That's my thing. We'll see on the replay. I guess all the battles are going to drop this Saturday. So
Moxie, what up?
Okay. Salute to the chat.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to the meat and potatoes, man. Let's get to Saturday. Where all the festivities happen.
Yo, the event, crazy. Parking was nice. The venue was easily accessible. We didn't have to driving around and trying to find the place. It was big, huge sign that said hi. We're like, oh, this is where we're at. The staff and the crew there was very, very accommodating. Again, I told you, they let me know, if you never need a time to sit down, just find somebody. If you can't find a seat, find somebody with a shirt and they will find a seat for you. And I said, thank you very much. So again, very accommodating. Okay. Fans were very receptive. As soon as we walked in, Jay the Nightwing and Kid Chaos were literally getting on stage. We were a little bit behind. They told Tink and Danny 1:30. We might have showed up at 1:45, 2 o'clock-ish. So not far behind the 1:30, but not too far behind. So, I mean, again, right when we walk in, Smacks, welcome to Civil War, doing his little thing. They're on stage. I'm like, all right, cool. We're right on time. we didn't really have a set order. I mean, they didn't have like a total set order, or they did, and it kind of must have got twisted around a little bit. But that battle was definitely a good way to set it off. Pretty intense. Jay the Nightwing went first. He got about a quarter away through his round, and he had one of them, a stumble where he kind of like that, but then he said like, damn, like he had to like get it back. So you might want to, that's going to be another one of them ones where you're going to have to either, if it's a choke or a stumble or how you judge it. So Chaos basically has the ball in his hand. Like all he needs is a clean round. You know, get your shit off, and you get to at least win that round. But unfortunately, Kid Chaos went about 85% of his round and stumbled at the very end of his round. So he had a little. So the first round was they both had a little slip up in the first. So that's going to be a tough. That's going to be one
you're better material in that first round, because if they both slip up, it comes down to the material.
And that's what I'm going to have to watch back on replay, because again, with that, I would say Kid Chaos stumbled at the end of his round as close as Jay did to the beginning of his round. So it was like Jay got about 25% into his round and then stumbled, and then Kid Chaos got about 75% into his round and stumbled. So it's like because Jay choked, and then he comes back and he still had some room rockers like after that. And Kid Chaos had like the couple little room shakers first, and then the null. You know what I mean? So it's like he started off kind of like great, but then fizzled out. I'm going to have to watch that one back to give like a solid. I was going to say that anyway, just because this is one of them battles. The only clear round that I could really give was the third. The second was another one where they both were like, like the room, the crowd was so like, yo, I didn't hear one boo, one awkward silence, one, it was on, dude. They were giving love, showing love when they had to. It wasn't just like because they were happy to see and hear anything. Nah, but it was people were giving it up like for bars. So they both in that second had it. I might edge to Jay. Jay kind of, he just has that present that when sometimes when his bars be hitting, he, that Mad King, he's a pack. Like it was like crazy. And you know what I mean? Like it just makes the bars are just hitting. And no diss to KC. He was so maybe I don't know. I might have to edge Kid Chaos in that first. I have to watch it back, bro. It's gonna come down to 2-1 either way. KC, you give it to Kid Chaos. That's initially I had Kid Chaos 2-1. But if somebody gives it to Jay, I don't think it's not gonna be like where I'm gonna be arguing with him about it. I'm gonna be like, all right, that first round was a little shaky on both ends. The second was a little tight, and then the third was like the only definitive. And I mean, even if some people say Jay, I'm gonna have to definitely watch that one back on Saturday, man. But it another 2-1. It's gonna be, you're gonna hear some Kid KC's 2-1 and some Jay the Nightwing 2-1.
Okay. I respect that.
The next battle was Don Marino and Ryder.
Which going into this, I thought Don Marino was going to get 30.
Yo, his first round might have been one of the rounds of the night, dog. For real. Don left Earth in his first round. Crazy. Mexican bars. He had some silk shit where he said, my ancestors made that or something. It's in my DNA. Silk is in my DNA or something like that. Like, yo, he had some shit, but then T-Top comes out at the end of his round. I'm the real haymaker king, and throws like 4 packs of bud out into the crowd. The crowd going crazy. They got them little haymakers on. He throws like 4 haymakers. Yeah. I'm the real haymaker king, and throws like 4 things of bud out into the crowd. They're like, yo, you know what I mean? Like it was one of them moments. It was like the first moment of the event was that. You know what I mean? Like that again. Jay and Kid Chaos had like bars and stuff like that, but the first like eruption of the building was definitely T-Top. I mean, even in his round, he just basically came out like Carolina, and they went crazy. So they're going to go crazy for him anyway. You know what I mean? Like, so that the end of Don's first, the room is like, Ryder goes. Ryder's round wasn't whack. Ryder's first was still decent, but I did give it to Don pretty clearly. Second round, Don came out flat, dog. He came out just, I don't know. It was just like a total opposite of what he did in the first. Like, it was just like they weren't, the bars weren't landing as hard. The jokes weren't as funny. Just kind of not a horrible round, but just a basic round, like a beatable round. Put it that way. You know, you watch somebody have a round, you're like, that's beatable. You know what I mean? Or if such and such turns up a little bit here, it's going to definitely be 1-1, and that's exactly what Ryder did. Ryder had Don had the you're a bad friend angle. Like, he tried to hit him with that. You know what I mean? Like, it's been used on Ryder before. It just fell flat. Like, it just wasn't hit for as intense, as high level as his first round was. His second was like down here somewhere. You know what I mean? Definitely, the volume definitely got turned down on that. And Ryder Ryder's the opposite. His first was down here, where he leveled up. So definitely 1-1 going into third. And again, Don's third just wasn't hit. It seemed like the crowd either just lost touch with him, or Ryder was so good in the second that they were just waiting for him to hit again, because again, in the second, Don's third just, again, he had a few little couple moments, few here and there. And I'm a fan of both of these guys. Ryder was another one that was so helpful. Always asking me, do you need anything to drink? Can I help? You know, I mean, if you got to use the bathroom, let me know. I'll get the crowd out of you. Yeah, for real. Like, big ups to Ryder. Also, big ups to Don, man. I know he gets a lot of heat in this culture, you know, Norb's cousin and all that, and coming in now he's NWX, so he gets favoritism and blah blah blah. But I really believe he's here for a reason. Like, he has moments, and he has, you know, he's very personable.
Well, he just got improving to do. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even me, like, I'm not a big fan of Don Marino, and I see he's trying to get better over time, but he better speed it up, because it's only going to be so long people accept the mid that he be putting out. Like, he got to do something. He got to do something.
So it went from 1-0 Don to 1-1, with Ryder having a slight, the momentum heading towards Ryder's way, and then Ryder just carried that momentum through the third. I have a 2-1 Ryder. Again, no diss to Don. His first round was the first kind of moment, first eruption of the room we've had in 2 years. You know what I mean? So again, there was about 6 or 7 moments here we're gonna talk about, bro, that we might have to break down who had the moment of the night. Like, you know what I mean? Like, every battle had just a little bit of something that you wanted to see. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I said there was no real dry spots where you're like, nah. Everybody definitely showed up and got their check, deserves whatever payment that they got. I mean, they URL put on, for real. Like, I would be highly, highly surprised if they don't come back to that area in that event. Like, that battle ends. Okay, I was upstairs in the balcony during that battle, and I don't know if you got to see that picture I sent you, how it was set up, or any of the clips of anybody.
Yeah.
You could see crystal clear. There wasn't a spot in the venue you couldn't be that you couldn't hear and see. Even all the way in the back by the bar. Like, I could hear and see everything perfect. So I was in the balcony. I got word that Tink and Danny were going to be next. So I hobbled my handicap. There was about 20. It was like a 2 double flight of steps, like a big metal stairway. I had to go down like 20 steps. So I finally got to the stage. Debo's like, come on, Ed, come on. Debo clears it out for me. I get on. I'm like, all right, what side is Danny and Tink going to be standing on? Debo's like, oh, Danny and Tink going to be the battle after this. It's Av and Real Sick. I was like, damn. I was already up on stage, like, trying to fight through that crowd. For me, again, it's a little harder. Having the cane definitely helped me. If I didn't have that cane, I was just normal walking through. Like, people would not have moved out of my way. Like, for real. I mean, again, not to use the handicap to my advantage, but definitely it helped me get through, get around. And I hopefully I won't be walking with it for much longer, to be honest with you. But so I hobbled my ass around to the other side of the stage. They had a bunch of couches back behind the stage, kind of set up like a U. And if you see that one picture I sent you, I'm actually sitting back, you know, on that couch, like, kind of just taking the picture shot to the crowd, just to kind of show, like, hey, people had masks on. Some people did have masks on. It was optional. You had to wear it going through the door into the venue. So as long as the camera saw you going in with the mask on, once you got in the venue, you were free to take it off. So some people did, some people didn't. Jay Black, I think, had his on the entire time. A couple other people wore masks, and I respect it. I'm not one of them. Like URL even accommodated that. They were very like, there was no spot where I felt like somebody was like right here, right in my face, like breathing on my neck. You know what I mean? Like it was definitely for having, I'd say 500-600, maybe might be even more than that. It was definitely close to, it was packed. You know what I mean? It was decent. So next battle was Av and Real Sick. Man, battle of the night for me. I mean, again, I can give Danny and Tink battle of the night and be biased, be the homie. Like, I'm not going to do that here. This battle is fucking amazing. Av and Real Sick is going to be one of them ones at the end of the year that people are going to be talking about for battle of the year. Moments, haymakers, jeez, man. It just, the first round, Av comes out super. Oh, no. Sick starts it off. He's going crazy. He's in his little, he gets in them rhyme pockets. He does them like a multi. He did what Diz used to do before Diz got kind of gangster, where it's like multi punch, where the punch comes like in after the, like it's a multi, it's a rhyme pattern, but then that hard punch comes in, like, you know, it's like only certain people really use that style, but it was working for Sick. He was like, yo, going crazy. But I still gave Av that first round. Av was just, man, presence, the straight like that's the, yo, he was just bombing on Sick. If this is going to be another one of them ones, if somebody's going to say 2-1 Sick, I'm not going to be able, because I was talking to Lex Luthor. He was, a couple of the Crucible scouts were over at the Pyrex thing on Sunday. I was talking to Dutch and Lex, and I'm like, yeah, I know that's Lex's man. He battles on iBattle, so I figured if anybody was going to give him the bias thing, it would be Lex. But nah, he kept it real. He said, yo, it could go 2-1 either way. Now, Sick's voice went out on him in the third. Unfortunately, not all the way out, but like you could tell he hit one of them octaves where he was like, like kind of like,
okay.
And it didn't totally hinder his, you know, he kind of does that raspy. Sometimes, you know, he does that voice, that growly voice on some of his punches, and you could tell he was like, wasn't all the way there. I did give Sick the second. I know I skipped. Second round, Sick comes back after Av kind of went on him. So I kind of had it 1-1 going into that third. But then when Sick's voice kind of went out, Av just kind of leveled up, like took control of the crowd. He did this, like I said, the VA, the straight like that. They had he had Squeako, a couple of the other VA Virginia guys was in the building. You know, VA right on top of SC. So I'm sure I saw him at the hotel. We were all at the Hyatt. I stayed with Danny. He said it was like a 3-hour ride for him, so they drove down from VA. We drove through VA to get to Carolina, but so their ride was only about half the time as ours. But they were both, man. They were both on 100. Put it that way. Like that battle is going to be one of them ones where it's going to be like 2-1 debatable. Some people gonna give it to Sick. If you give that first round to Sick and you give him the first 2 rounds, then you like again it's going to be another one of them. That's just like the Lady Flames and the EK. I'm going to have to watch that one back to try to get a definitive answer on it, but definitely a great replay value. They're going to go crazy for that one when it comes out.
And that's what I was expecting from that battle. So I'm glad that lived up to it.
Yeah. So finally, that battle's ending. They called Tink and Danny to the stage. Oh, wait, no, we had a 10-minute break. They did a little intermission, whatever. Let the DJ Danny Ocean, I guess he's big down there in Carolina. Shouts out to him. He did give us a couple shouts out on the mic. He was receptive. He must know, but he has to be into battle rap because he was giving shout outs that, you know what I mean, the average just looking at the card saying, oh, hey, he was like shouting jazz out and shouting. Like he knew people, you know what I mean? But so he was definitely, the filler music was hitting. So finally, Danny and Tink come out, Ace and Swamp, they're getting mic'd up. The crowd's getting a little, you know, just the presence. Tink has that presence. He doesn't, I mean, he realizes it, but like, even just walking through the crowd, he's so much bigger than like, there's only like a security guy was the only person in the house that was probably bigger than Tink was. You know what I mean? Like dressed in all black, bad guy in black. Oh, yeah, Jack and Castro. Yep, you're right. My bad, Rome. But so he was definitely the filler music was hitting. So finally, Danny and Tink come out, Ace and Swamp, they're getting mic'd up. The crowd's getting a little, you know, just the presence. Tink has that presence. He doesn't, I mean, he realizes it, but like, there's only like a security guy was the only person in the house that was probably bigger than Tink was. You know what I mean? Like dressed in all black, bad guy in black. Oh, yeah, Jack and Castro. Yep, you're right. My bad, Rome. Okay, we can get to that first. Yeah, Jack and Castro. My bad. Castro. Oh my God, crazy. Hey, big dog, killed it. Rocked the room. Jack. I guess Jack was having. I heard. I don't know this to be 100% certain that he was having some issues with his lupus. He did have a Adidas full tracksuit on. It was hot. I mean, it was not sweltering hot, but it was like 95 degrees outside, and like there's one area of the place they had like open.
Familiar with how lupus works, but I know Jack has definitely complained about like flare-ups and stuff like that before.
Yeah, it can cause seizure, so I legit seizure.
That's like a real thing.
Yeah, you can have like a legit seizure. God, like, I mean, it ain't it's nothing to play with. Like your body overheats. So like there was a point where he like unzipped. His first round was crazy. He was freaky. Like he was getting it was some vintage Jack. You know what I mean? Like, but there's a point like after the first round, he unzips his. I thought he was gonna take the shirt. I mean, again, it's not nothing to see Jack without his fucking shirt on now at this point, right? So I'm thinking he's gonna just rock without the shirt on. Nah, he takes the towel and like dries himself off. He was like fucking so sweat, like yo, like drenched in sweat. Like I'm like, damn, bro. Like, so he Richmond's his first round. Like I know that's like his slogan at the end. I don't know if it was he spit a good round. So put it that way. It was definitely long enough for a full round. He did Richmond at the end. I know he says that anyway. So I don't know if that was a stumble or a choke or whatever. But Castro just comes out with that energy, bro. Like, man, he had the crowd. Like, the crowd was already kind of like, after seeing Ab and Sick, like, yo, this is what we want. This is what we came here for. Like, you could tell the crowd's like, yeah. Castro just used that to his advantage, bro. He had the, hey, big dog. He did the moment. He had another moment. Hey, big dog. The crowd was like, hey, big dog. He said, hey, big dog. Hey, big. It was like 5 times, dog. The whole building rocking. I did give it to Castro 2-1 or possible 3-0, depending on how you give that first round. If you give Jack that first, Jack definitely jerseyed his second. His second was very short. Richmond. I mean, I know he says Richmond at the end of his shit, but it was definitely a shorter round. Like he definitely that second, you could tell something was up with him, either his health or, like I said, it wasn't I'm not here to make excuses for anybody. We don't do that here.
We all know, like Jack, he's been open about his health and everything like that, and I know that's not something that he gonna sit there and use as an excuse, but it's still to me a valid reason. You understand? Because it's something that's kind of out of his control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because even him and Castro were like talking outside when I went out to smoke, and I could hear, like I could tell, like they were like, Castro was like letting him know, like, yo, next time you get it right, like, you know what I mean? Like he definitely fought through it. Jack's third round was still crazy too. He was kind of trying to use the angle of Lou took the chicka the jigga thing, or the scratch, he does the wiki, and Jack does the double. Yeah. He says the same word twice, freaky, leaky, you know what I mean? So he was trying to kind of say he kind of stole his style, or you took a part of his style and ran with it. And then Lou had like a counter to that where he was like, I'm explaining to you why it's not the same. And like broke it, like, so basically he took Jack's angle and like shot it another direction, like, nah, this is not what it is. This is how I do my shit. And then broke it down. Crowd is like going crazy in the third round. So it could be a possible 30, and no diss to Jack. This is not one of them hate Jack. I got love. Jack and Flames is definitely awesome and shook my hand. Good. Yeah. I mean, nice to meet you. Like me being a super fan, I don't very rarely take pictures. I don't need, like, I'm an in the moment kind of guy, Mercy. You know what I mean? When I'm there, like, I would shake your hand. Like I take it as that. I do take I will, like, I've taken pictures with people before. I'm a DJ too, so I have a portfolio where I do have pictures with celebrities and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. Yeah, it's good for my press. It's good for my press kit.
Pictures is not a priority. Like when you go out to enjoy yourself. I'm that way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm not taking pictures of my food and taking pictures of everything. No, I'm a person who, when I go out, I'm there to enjoy myself. I don't give a fuck about
If I'm
social
at the
media.
gym,
When
if
I'm
I'm
out
at the
having fun.
gym, I'm working out, not taking a picture of my machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So,
But the fans, I mean, the battlers were very like I seen them taking pictures with fans, so I don't want the fans to get this notion like you can't ask for an autograph or you can't ask for a picture. Like, nah, it's not like that.
yeah.
I saw plenty of battlers taking pictures with people. This was just my like I'm already hanging out in VIP with these guys. I don't need to be taking pictures. Like we're going to cookout after this to go have, hang out and have food and talk shit. Like I absorb that kind of stuff. So yeah, 3-0, possible 2-1, 2-1. Next battle was definitely Tink and Danny versus Ace and Swamp. First round, crazy first round. Ace and Swamp started off. Yo, man, they started going crazy. They had some shit for Danny. They had some demon flips. They had, it was pretty intense. They were going, they took it somewhere. They took it to the level where I'm like looking at Danny and Tink like, yo, y'all got to turn the fuck up. Like, yo. And I knew that first round, I'd even told you like, yo, the first round is fucking, they're going to blow the roof off this motherfucker. And that's exactly what happened. When Tink and Danny started rapping, bro, like people's faces in the crowd, Mercy. And I was standing right there. The only person in front of me was Jazz. And I told her, I was like, yo, you might be the only person in this whole building that I would have let stand in front of me right now with a broken leg. You know what I mean? Like she was the only one. And big ups to Jazz, man. She's fucking awesome, dude. Like she was making them faces, looking back at me like, oh, like, yo, you know what I mean? I kind of was like, yo, wait till you hear it. I'm over her shoulder, like, yo, wait till you hear this demonic shit that's about to come. She was like, what? It's like watching somebody watch a horror movie, like right before Michael Myers comes out, and they're like, you see a glimpse of him real quick, and they're like, you see the girl in the shower or whatever, and you know he about to get her, but you don't know how it's gonna happen. Like, I'm telling you, Mercy, like looking out and seeing 200 people like this. I'm like, yo. So I did. If you give Ace and Swamp any rounds, I would give them maybe the first. If you give them the first, I'm not mad at anybody. We're not here to do biasness. Yes, I am Hunger Games, Dark Side for life. That ain't gonna change. But we don't judge like that. We don't. I tell Tink when he loses. I tell None when he loses. We keep it real around here. We don't. Ace and Swamp were crazy. Like Ace did a fucking spirit bomb at the end of his round. Boom. Yeah. I mean, they went crazy. They had moments. You know what I mean? They had moments.
Yeah.
Chest bump. He hits Tink with the chest bump. Bam. It was definitely a fucking good round. Second round, they had some slip ups. They had a moment where like both of them are like, they pause for a second. They're like looking at each other like to see who goes next. You know what I mean? Like one of them, like it was like a little 5 to 7 second where they're like looking to see who's supposed to pick it up. Kind of like you see somebody running in a relay race and they're going to hand the baton off and the person ain't quite ready. They're like fumbling it. You know what I mean? Fumbling it to get, maybe not drop the baton, but like fumbling to get it into the next person's hand. That's kind of like what I assess that as. It wasn't kind of more of a stumble / choke. It's going to be, people will have to, like Danny's like literally right up in their face like this as they're like doing it. So they're like looking at each other like with that awkward silence, and Danny's like right in their mid, like, huh? What are y'all doing? Like, like Tink standing back. And then Tink and Danny went again. They went second, and it just kept leveling. Like they just kept going higher and higher. Tink just, yo. So many moments, bro. Like, I'll get back to the first. Actually, they said something in their first where Ace and Swamp were like, Danny gonna say something about the Thule burst. Or Danny's definitely gonna say Thule burst in his bars. So Danny comes right off the rip like, Thule burst! And the crowd went, rah! Crazy, you know what I mean? So then Danny had a little rebuttal. Danny had a little rebuttal that kind of fell flat after that. So it was like, rah! And then Danny's little rebuttal fell flat, and then Tink comes right in with the, you are the same on the internet. Well, welcome to the dark web. I'm sure y'all saw the clip of that part. He hits him with the dark web bar, and the crowd again is like, rah! Like, yo. it seemed like Tink, like every other bar Tink spit, dog, was like a rocker. The room was just, he's on, the lights were coming down like right on his head, like that spit, like, you know, Tink got that mist coming out of his mouth. Yo, bro, he was definitely on another level. Like this might be the best demon I've seen since Mike P, or on that level, maybe even higher than that, dog. Like even in the second round, Tink and Danny, like they had a God versus the devil. Like they were basically, their first round was like Ace and Swamp is in purgatory and Danny's the God and Tink is the devil. They're arguing amongst each other on who should take who to heaven, who should take who to hell. Yo, it was fire. Like when you hear it around and you're like, Danny's like, nah, this guy is a family man. Da-da-da-da-da. And Tink's like, nah, you heard Stir versus E-Top talking about slinging dope and da-da-da-da-da. Like he had all the negative. Danny would say something positive, cool about him, and then Tink would come in like, nah, he's a. So that first round definitely.
You know what's crazy? I'm surprised that they were able to pull that off the way they were, because this is the thing. Going into it, because of the distance, I thought that Danny and Tink wouldn't have as good chemistry because I know they on different coasts, and I thought Swamp and Ace would have the better chemistry because they're so close and able to actually get to each other.
They used one of them writing. They used one of them writing apps that like authors and use where you can add on. Like I can write like a paragraph and then send it to you, and then you add on your part and send it back to me. Like so, they were doing it like that, where Danny would write some, and then Tink would go to work, and Tink would log back in, write some, send it back to Danny. So it's like Tink was saying, like there's times where he would wake up in the morning and Danny would already have some shit done. You know what I mean? He's like, oh shit, I got to catch back up. So I mean, they were using whatever, I don't know what app it was, but one of them kind of like editing apps where you can like do writing.
Yeah, they got a million apps like that.
So they used one of them, and then of course phone, you know, with Zoom and phone calls. They actually linked up too in the New York. They went up for that. They were at that Gates of the Garden event that Dre had in Staten Island, I believe it was, or where was that event? Somewhere in New York. They just had a Gates event.
Staten Island. Yeah.
They were both there too, so they did link up a couple times where they got to do some live. It wasn't all. Majority of it was phone or, you know, just. And that no chemistry thing, I believe, pissed them off because they understand they've been friends for 7 years, almost 8 years now. Like they cool, like hang out outside battle rap. Danny put money on Tink's books while Tink was away. Not just that it's about that, but like Danny helped out definitely. Like Danny is Hunger Games, you know what I mean? He's not, but he is. Like he's family for life. Like there's nothing. Nobody can say that Danny is the GOAT, dog. Like for real. Like he's.
Okay.
He's fucking amazing. That second round though, Tink and fucking Danny left Earth. Like I know Swamp and Ace had that one moment where they were like kind of stumbling a little bit, but like the intensity, like Danny and Tink kept it. Like they set the bar crazy high at the beginning, and then it kept it there. You know what I mean? It was just like boom, boom, boom. And the fans again, they're just still sitting there like, like eyes getting bigger, mouths getting wider open. Motherfuckers all making the stank face, like, oh god.
Okay.
And the third round, Ace had the moment where he shoulder bumps fucking Smack, knocked Smack back into the crowd, dog. Ace shoulder bumped Smack, man. Yo, Smack did this. Yo, Smack, you ever seen somebody do the trust fall? Where people are like standing behind you and you got to yo, that's what Smack did, dog. Ace bumped Smack. He was like this.
Wow.
Yo, they called him behind me. We were all like, yo. So
wow.
They did have like one little, like a couple little where they were fumbling their word. You could tell like it wasn't clean. Like they were, again, where they were the transitions. That's what they need to work on. Their transition between Ace or Swamp setting up bars, because they were finishing each other's. They were doing good at like Ace would do the setup, Swamp would come in with the punch, or Swamp would do the little setup, and then Ace would come in with the. They were doing well with that. I think that just the transitioning sometimes between it was a little choppy.
Okay.
And again, this is just. I'm not a hater. This is not. I gave credit. I actually at the face-off, Swamp was sitting right next to me, and Tink was on the chair on the other side of him. Swamp looks over to me like, we're gonna fuck them up tomorrow. And I was like, no, you're not. And he was like, he didn't know I was Tink's brother at that time. He didn't know. I look over and Tink's like, that's my brother right there. And he's like, oh. So, but I wasn't. There was a time at the face-off where Swamp was doing the thumbs down. Did you see? He was like, did the thumbs down at the face-off. So like that's how I was reacting over Jazz's shoulder. I was just kind of going like this a couple times just so he could see me, but all in the good spirit. I don't get this shit. Don't get personal to me unless people take it there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I don't troll. I'm not one of them people that trolls battlers, or when Tink and Danny have an op that I'm on their page, drop it. Like I might say, hey bro, you're gonna die. Like, I mean, again, that's just what I'm saying because that's my man, you know?
Yeah.
So after they shoulder bumps, and again, the bump smack thing is a moment, crowd goes crazy, but what does that have to do with bars? Like that's not, I mean, yes, it is. It's momentum. They're in their direction, but it's not like the material they had just wasn't there. Like, I mean, to me, is definitely probably their.
Well, I always give the props and stuff like that. I give those credit because those are you still come to see a show. You feel me? So when
it's entertaining.
Like that, it's always dope.
Danny has the rebuttal. So then Danny comes out at the top of the third with the rebuttal. He's like, Rock is sitting right up front by like JB. You know, they sit the production team right at the edge of the stage. You got JB, Anderson Burris, all the black market media guys are all down there in the front. Well, Rock and Caution and a couple of other VIPs are sitting at a little table right next to them. Well, Danny goes right over to Rock, like something about these motherfuckers might not get their second half, or ask Rock something, because as Rock was saying, you know, they ain't gonna get their second half or whatever. So Danny and Rock actually have a moment where they're shaking hands, they're slapping hand. Danny gives Rock this. Wow. Rock stands up, slap Danny hand. I'm like, oh shit! And the building again is like, ah! You know, it was good. I mean, again, then Danny and Tink ends with like a strong. I mean, the crowd goes from like going like this 1-1, like 1-1 in the crowd to going 3-0, 3-0, 3-0,
wow.
3-0. Only 3-0.
Bipolar fuck shit. Like how the hell you say from 1-1 to 3-0? Well,
that's what I was kind of trying to explain at the beginning. I think maybe they don't want to go say 2-0 or chant 2-0 or I don't know. I think it's discouraging for the other artists. Like, you already going to give up, or are you going to, like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just see things from like a different.
Listen, the crowd chanting 3-0 is part of the culture at this point. So anybody, you got to deal with it. Fuck all that. Oh, you're going to feel the type of way.
It's going to come down to that first, because Danny and Tink's first was still crazy. Even though Ace had their best round by far was the first. Like,
okay.
So I would say 2-1 clear Danny and Tink. Possible 30, but I'm not mad at anybody giving Ace and Swamp that first round. I just think that Danny.
I definitely seen Ace correct somebody and say that he felt like him and Swamp got the first clear. So
I don't think clear is not. There's no clear in that first round, bro. Watch it back. You'll watch it back. You'll. I'm sure you're gonna come with your official after the watch recap. Yeah. Then I
might do like a little like watch party or something. Like we'll get like a couple people on the stream and we all watch the battles together.
I'm cool with that. I don't even got plans.
Probably Excel. A couple people.
I'm down.
I'm
down with it. I'm down with it. I'm free this weekend. So, the next battle we had Mike P versus T-Top. Wow. Shoo. This one of them ones. Yeah. Big ups to J Room. Yeah, they definitely weren't expecting Tink to carry. Tink was probably the guy. He was not to call him a dark horse, but he's the guy on the card that like you might not expect the most from, that showed the most. You know what I mean? He's the guy that you have the lowest expectations for, but then he's like, holy, like people were like, so many people after we got off stage came up to us like, oh my God, amazing. I think his bars are just so vivid. Like you can literally, when they're saying shit, like you could see it almost happen. Like, you know what I mean? When he's like, open your scalp out, the brain's all lavender. Like you can literally think about seeing a pink brain, like a nasty looking brain. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's just more, and his presence, like Tink got like a URL 99 presence, dog. It's like, he's on stage like, Rah! Like motherfucker, it's gonna make the crowd go crazy. So yeah, T-Top and Mike P, man, fuck. crazy battle. First round was close. You could edge it maybe to Mike P. I mean, I saw a lot of T-top 30s, but that first round is on watchback is going to be a lot closer than people think it was. Now, T-top came out. I told you, Carolina, they go crazy right off the rip. You know what I mean? That's all he said. Yeah, one word. They go crazy. I'm like, oh, so Mike P is not only going to have to beat T-top, he got to fight this crowd too. You know what I mean? Any home game like that where it's a massive celebrity, you know what I mean? That's like Mook having a home game out your way in Harlem. Like, you know what I mean? They're going to go crazy. Mook could just come out like, Harlem, what up?
Mook on 125th, you bound to lose.
Yeah, Mook comes out like, Harlem, what up? No, it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So T-top comes out, Carolina, boom, gets right into his shit. He's going crazy. Like, that first round is going to go either, it might go either way. It's going to be close. T-top had some shit. Mike P had some shit. But after that, dog, it went right to fucking T-top's. T-top just took that second. Mike P had a Hadouken bar that fell flat, dude.
Wow.
He tried to recreate. See, that the problem is when you're trying to recreate a moment that already has existed, it's either got to hit just as hard.
Make a new one. Like you got to make a new one.
You
can't keep trying to live off the same old moment.
So he goes into the Street Fighter, Hadouken, and then either he forgot the last line or because it just stopped. It's like you expect another word. It's like hit him with the Hadouken, and then he went into like the next bar, and the crowd was just kind of like, huh? And he was like, hold up, y'all, hold up. I'm like, he had to like basically like recorrect, like when he started getting into his bars, like Mike's like trying to hush the crowd down because they started getting a little restless. Like, what? That shit didn't even make sense. Like, so after that kind of fell a little flat. T-top picks up, man. He just starts bombing on him. Boom, boom, boom. Like, talk about his girl and that Yaks girl. And like, yo, he started going off on Ashley, dog. Like,
I figured that was gonna happen.
He's like, oh, she or something. She belongs to the culture or something black. He's like, your girl basically belongs to black culture. That was the angle. Like, yeah, bro. He's like you're a guest at his house, or like, yeah. I mean, it was like, yo, the angle that T-top had was hitting. Like, we're in VIP. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting on the couch. Ace Amin's over here next to me. EK's next to him, and Tink is right here on my other side, and we're all just kind of like doing this. Like looking, you know what I mean? We're all looking at each other like, yo. We're watching the battle too, but like we're all like, every time something crazy was said, it was like a moment where we're all just kind of like looking at each other like, yo, did you hear that shit? Like, and then in the third, T-top just carried that momentum through the third, and you know, more had another Carolina. Oh, Mike P had this PD Pablo, another flat. He did like a PD Pablo Carolina raise up shit, and it didn't hit as hard as I think he wanted. It's one of them ones where, you know how some battlers write for reaction, or they write to the point where they're like expecting a reaction after that, and then it was just like, it was kind of like Hulk Hogan, like the Hulk Hogan ear. Muggs was like, we want to hear more. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't really. He had a couple of them moments where he was spitting some bars, and it just wasn't. The crowd was just not as real. And I know it's a Carolina crowd. He had to understand, you're fighting not just T-top. You gotta say some crazy fire shit for them to even give you an ounce of respect. They weren't not booing. There's no boos. Again, the crowd, there was no boo. It wasn't like Philly. You didn't hear no boos. There was maybe like a few moments of awkward silence, which I think is worse. The silent treatment can be worse than the boo. When the fans are just like nothing, like that's worse to me. Being an artist and a DJ, like if I'm DJing a set and I look out into the crowd and the whole crowd is just stiff in silence, like, yo, bro, that's bad. It's not good. Like,
here's the thing. I say the silence is better because at least with the silence, they're respecting it.
Yeah, there's no disrespect
to do something. Boo, we don't want to hear that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Like, that's what a boo is for. So I take the silence over a boo any day.
Yeah, I hear you. So he had a couple of them kind of like the bars weren't. like the setup have you like waiting for it, like on the edge of your seat, waiting for it to go somewhere, and then it's just like it just fizzles out. You know what I mean? So it's like the anticipation for some of his bars just wasn't there. And this is no slide to Mike P. I'd rock with him. I shook his hand. I got love for him. Him and Tink had a classic in my opinion. Like, but like we were touching on earlier, like trying to recreate a moment is just so hard, bro. Like you got to either make it. It has to be like a remix of that, or it has to be a little more original. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying people are tired of the Street Fighter thing, because that's one of his signature key moments. I'm not here to take that away from him. It's just like when you're trying to reuse it on a different op, it has to be either as good as the first one or better. You know what I mean? There is no like that coming sub sideways, unless it's like one of your signature moves. Like unless it's a strapped in, it's like one of your signature moves that because I mean not every strapped in gets the fucking crowd roar either. You know?
That's true.
Like how many Verb showtimes fell flat. You know what I mean? Like it happens to some people sometimes. So it is what it is.
That is true. The last one got shut down before they got a chance.
Oh yeah. So I was thinking, I skipped that second round. T-Top brings out Anderson Burris, dog. Well, right before the battle, the police were out front, like, yo, bugging. The Muggs was out there, like it was a little crowd, like in the outside the venue that they were trying to get them to either go inside or go like out back. They had like a little smoking area where they had like you could see a lot of the interviews that like Uncle Ra and them did, like lattice. There's like a lattice background and shit. They had a bunch of couches. So the police were like out there basically trying to tell people, yo, get back to the back or get in the venue. Y'all can't be out here on the street and da da da. So T-Top's second round, he's spitting some shit to Mike P. He's like telling him he had something about the cops show up here, they ain't gonna lock you up, blah 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 blah. And Anderson Burris comes out, and I forget how T-Top's line ended up, how that his end bar ended, but Anderson was like, "Cause you need your white friends to talk to the police." And yo, this motherfucker, he got that nerdy kind of white. He's got the presence, and no diss. Anderson's fucking amazing. I met him, great dude, fucking awesome. I even teased him after Ace did the shoulder bump to Tink and the Smack. I said, Anderson, if Smack would have fell all the way over, you were next. He was going to shoulder bump you next. Because he's tall. I'm already 6'1", 6'2". He's taller than me. He's about 6'5", 6'6". He's taller than me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's a big dude. So he's like, you need your white friends to talk to the police. He's like, I'm an insecure white guy just like you. And then he was like, the police were just out front of this place, and me and you were the only two people that felt safe. So he had like 3 bars. It was just like bam, bam, bam. Like Mike P. The place was like probably the biggest moment other than Twerk's strapped in. Yeah, it might have been the biggest reaction of the night. Again, Tink and Danny had.
I like that promo that Anderson Burris did, like right before the event. That video where he kept saying "and Mike P" or whatever he was saying. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking. My hot take was either Top or Mike P was going to bring out our streets. So Top was either. That's what I said. I said either Top's going to bring him out for redemption, or Mike P is going to bring him out. Bring him out to give Top bars for not, you know what I mean? Like that would have been crazy too.
Yeah, for that whole situation.
So after that second round, I basically look over at Ace and look over at Tink and EK, and I'm like, yo, Mike P is gonna need that cop from out front to come on stage and spit some bars to win this motherfucker. Like, you need that cop that was talking shit out front to come win this third round. And of course, like that just that moment almost carried into the third. The crowd is still like buzzing off Anderson's shit. Like they're like, who the fuck? Yeah. Some of them people, that was the first time they even ever seen him, heard him. Now he's from Carolina somewhere. I don't know where. None said he's done a lot for Carolina rap. So I mean, I'm gonna take it as
I think he's from Raleigh. Yeah, he said Raleigh in that video that he's from Raleigh.
All right, so yeah, that's like his hometown. Like they were There's some people in there that did know, but then the people that didn't, they know now. Put it that way. You know what I mean? Like the people that didn't know about it before, they know now. So yeah, that was probably the biggest or second biggest moment of the night. And then Top just carried it into his third, just kept going with it. Mike P just kind of fell flat, and that was pretty much the end of that battle. The last battle was Loso versus Twerk. Crazy battle. Like even Twerk just getting introduced on stage, the crowd was buzzing.
How did Twerk do?
Amazing. 2 strapped ins. And the Look Alive. He started with the Look Alive joint. He did like 2 or 3 bars in his first and went right into the Look Alive. You know, what? And the crowd's saying it right along with him. Oh no, he looked alive. Then he had the strapped in the first. The crowd goes crazy. Just saying every word with him. You know what I mean? Up until the point. Loso's first was actually, I'm gonna have to watch this back on the replay. I mean, I'm giving the battle to Twerk, but like I think Loso has a lot of them like overheads, like not just necessarily overheads, but it's material that needs to be absorbed, like more than just like hearing it once. Like he was spitting some shit, like I don't know, like I can't necessarily quote the bars, but like he had some material. It's not like he was out there just rapping nothing. He had like the first. I'm giving it to Twerk just because again the crowd gave him the most receptive. It's just like that Twerk is so hard to beat, dog. He might be damn near unbeatable. Like the crowd when he has the crowd in the palm of his hand. When he has the crowd in the palm of his hand like that, like I'm telling you, like it could have got really. I mean, I heard some people saying 3-0, but I think it's more going to be a 2-1 Twerk. But I mean, again, it's going to depend on who you give that first to, maybe. But I don't know. Loso might have had another little sneak round because Twerk did another strapped in, like the second round. Crazy. Or Loso might have stole the third. I don't know. Maybe J Rome or somebody else who was there.
Appreciate the $2 donation.
Salute to 7. That my man Seven. That my man Seven Mitchell. Is that him?
Is that 7 Mitchell? I'm not sure. I've seen the name before.
It don't matter. But yeah, so then so he does another strapped in the second. Okay. He does another strapped in the second. The crowd is already like going crazy. Like even the top deck. Like I look up at the top deck and there's arms hanging like over the thing. Like yo, my buggers is stomping noises. Like yo, the building was shaking for real. Like I mean, when people say they shake the building. Nah, like for real. Twerk, he's probably top 3 when it comes to that, man. Like I mean, maybe even top 2. Like there's not many people out there that can move a whole crowd like he could and get them right where he like manifests them right where he wants them, gets them right where they need to be, and then boom, I think he knew like, yo, I'm gonna hit him with another strapped in, and then man, I can snap it anymore. When the crowd is like on the other MC like that again, it's got to be intimidating. I mean, I've never stood in front of his bars like that except for just watching them, but I gotta imagine like if you're Loso, it's got to be like, god damn. What the fuck else is this gonna do to me? And Loso's third I liked too, man. Man, I'm gonna have to watch this one back, man. I definitely gave the battle to Twerk, but I think Loso's material is gonna it's on cam, it's gonna resonate a little better. How about that? In the room, it wasn't, because Twerk was presence, his bars was every
Hey, listen, I was actually supposed to be down there, but the league, they had some business fall throughs that basically prevented it from happening. But I was supposed to be down there, but
you'd already told me you weren't going to be able to make it. But after that, it was pretty much the end of the event. Amazing event. I give it a 9 out of 10, maybe a 9.5. Like there was no battles where you're like, that battle sucked. You know what I'm saying? Every battle, even though there was a few 30s, a few possible 30s, a few Like there was no, J Rome then went to another event. We went the next day to the Pyrex, John. It was actually pretty good. But salute to URL, man. Like, yo, they put on the staff, the crew. Big ups to Beasley, Chico, Smack, the JB, P, any Bills, all the anybody who was on the staff that, I mean, not even the people that just helped me. Like, yo, they made sure the fans were. You paid your $60 for this ticket. You did not. You got your money's worth and then some. Put it that way. And there's nobody in there that was like, "Oh man, fuck $60 for this." Nah, you paid for that $60 ticket. You got. This is the best URL event I've been to since Born Legacy 2. Like for real, facts. And I've been to 4 or 5 other ones in between. So it's not like that's the only event I've been to since then. Just that energy.
I'm looking forward to these battles dropping on Saturday. You know what I mean? So. You know,
salute to all the MCs.
I appreciate you coming on and giving your recap. You feel what I'm saying? So let them know where they can contact you at.
I'm DJ Ed Edible, you know, Hunger Games, Dark Side. Type me in on social media. I don't have the gram, but Facebook, Twitter. I don't know. I'm not out here for free promo or anything. I salute to the trap. No Mercy TV. Make sure you tune in to Let's Chop This Fable every Saturday, 9 a.m. on Twitch. That's it, man. Like, you know, Hunger Games. Salute to my man J Rome.
Appreciate you coming on.
Tink and Danny. I'm so proud of you guys, man. Fuck, amazing job.
All right, we out of here, and I will see y'all soon. Y'all already know what time it is, man. No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. We will be recapping the event once we get to watch the battles on the app Saturday. So make sure y'all stay tuned to the movement. We here, y'all. I'm out of here.
Peace.